Before we take questions for TWILA, she is going to have a few words for you.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here, especially those of you that are here in Atlanta as we prepare for a really difficult match against Japan. Before like he said, opens the floor for questions, I just wanted to quickly address Corbin's social media interactions. It is disappointing when somebody falls short of the very high standards that we set within this team. This team has always been a beacon of respect, inclusion, and demonstrated great allyship through actions for underrepresented and marginalized groups, including the LGBTQ plus community, and we will continue to do so. As Lindsay and Alex mentioned, this team has never shied away from hard conversations. And today we're here continuing to work on getting better, continuing to work on preparing ourselves to make ourselves proud, make our fans proud, and put ourselves in the best position to continue to look towards success as we start this tournament.
Thank you, TWILA. Before we take questions, just a message to our friends online. We got a lot of people in the room, so most of the questions will probably come from the room, but if we have time to get to online, we will. Quick housekeeping item. We are up to 48,452 tickets as of 9:31 a.m. That is about 1,000 off the all-time record for a friendly match in the United States. Julie played in front of more. That wasn't friendly. And we'll probably get break it. So we'll know tomorrow, which will be awesome. All right, so questions for TWILA. We don't have a mic here today. So we'll ad hoc, as you can see. But questions for TWILA, please raise your hand. Go ahead, Layton.
TWILA, this is obviously your final camp in this position. Just how has this experience been? Has it been what you thought? How is it different than what you thought?
Yeah, I think when I started, it was about just doing the next best and right thing for this program, and it wasn't about expectations in the long term. And over time, it went from a few months opportunity to what looks like it's going to be about a 9-month opportunity. So I guess I would say I've just taken one step at a time and really done my best to try and enjoy it, be as present as I possibly can. I'm really proud of the job that we've done, and obviously there's some next steps to take care of, and we're very serious about taking care of business this tournament, as we always are. But it's not just me. It's an entire staff of people that have committed to seeing this program through the interim time frame and helping to really set this program up for success. A program that's long been decorated with many, many positive attributes, wins, a really strong history, and it's been a commitment from so many different people to move this thing forward, including the players, but also the entire staff and delegation.
Go ahead, Doug.
Have you enjoyed the experience? And how will your focus change in your next role?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this a few times. I've been a head coach before, I've been an assistant before, obviously completely different levels. I've always enjoyed both. I had no idea how much I would enjoy this experience. It's been one of the greatest privileges of my life. And joy comes to your perspective, how you approach things, but also the people that you're with. And I have been surrounded by incredible people in this delegation, on the team, had the opportunity with some of the people in the room to work with, and people and the experience is where the joy comes from.
Go ahead.
With some of the younger players, obviously you've got the league as a camp together. Even at this stage where, there's a limited number of camps before the Olympics, how much discussion is there about perform well and we can, without promising anybody anything, realistically, how much evaluation is going on with an eye towards the Olympic roster as opposed to afterwards the next 4 years?
I think the short answer to that is that there's always immediate and long-term goals in a federation, within a team, within a coaching staff, trying to prepare. The job is always immediate and the future. I think all the players that are here wouldn't have been called in if they weren't ready to be here. That's something that's really important. But with all players, especially less experienced players, they don't get into one camp just because of one performance, and future decisions aren't usually based on one camp. Obviously the context of Olympic roster and things like that coming plays a hand, but it's really important that all players that are new are onboarded appropriately. I think you guys have seen that with some we've taken a really slow approach and it's benefited them. For some we've accelerated that just a little bit, but there's certain boxes we want to tick with everybody to make sure they have a really good shot of bringing who they are and what they bring as players into the structure that's provided for them in a really positive way that sets them up for success. So we are balancing all of those things, the immediate, the Olympics, an eye to the future, I would say, but also taking care of the people that are here that have earned the right to be here and make sure that they're set up to have success.
Go ahead.
Eric mentioned, you just mentioned there, short 48,000 tickets sold for tomorrow, almost breaking the record for the players in the U.S. or the U.S. women's national team. How does that kind of validate the decision to play this tournament in Atlanta, at least the semifinals?
Yeah, I think anytime you can play in front of a large crowd, that's really exciting. We want to play for our fans. We feed off their energy. It's an amazing experience to be in a stadium and know the full amount of support that's behind you. But also to do that in what will be the future home of U.S. soccer is really special. This is a community that we want to embrace. We want to be involved in. It's going to be a joint effort to make this the center of U.S. soccer, and we're just really excited about everything to come.
Japan's ranked number 7 in the world. You mentioned the challenge of it. Can you speak a little bit about what they do that'll make things difficult for you tomorrow?
Yeah, I think Japan is a really formidable opponent. They have the ability to play a variety of different ways. We saw them play a very distinct way at the World Cup, where they sat off a little bit more. They're also and look to counterattack. They're also a very technical team, capable of longer possessions of build-up. They have dangerous threats as individuals in a variety of different places. And we've seen them play a 5-back against us the last time we played them. They built with 3 for a lot of the World Cup. They're recently have been building with 4, and something that makes them a challenge is that they do all of those things well. So as we work through what we expect, what we'll do, what our what-if scenarios, we call it within our team, there's a large variety of things to cover. And they're dangerous at all of those things, but that's exactly what we want. These are the type of challenges we love. Our team is really excited to step on the field and test some of the things that we've been working on against a really formidable opponent.
Let me go to online and we'll come back. Let's go to Kyle Bond. Go ahead, Kyle. Hold on. Go ahead, Kyle.
Great, thank you guys, I appreciate it. Coach, first, are you able to share anything on the availability of Kat and Mal as far as what they're able to give as they continue to get back to full match fitness? And I also wanted to ask you about Jenna Niswanger. You've spoken in the past about how versatile a player she is. Do you feel like that's something that you guys want to make use of moving forward, or do you feel that her path is more of, hey, we want you to do this one thing great?
Kat and Mal are both available. They've been participating in training at a varying level of degree, but that's just about their health and safety and making sure that they continue on the progressions that they're on. It's difficult to go from club to national team, back to club, and we're cognizant of that and want to make sure that we're putting them in the best position, to stay healthy and be all that they can be as they continue to, progress in their own steps. But they are both available. And Jenna is a very versatile player. That will always be part of, one of her strengths. I think she's very talented in multiple positions. Some positions we haven't seen her play yet, and I imagine she will play at some point in her career. Yes, and she has been used in multiple positions and will continue to be used in multiple positions.
Let's go to Jeff Carlisle. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, TWILA. I was wondering, in light of the reaction to Corin Albert's social media activity, to what extent was any thought given to removing her from the roster, and how might what's taking place impact her playing time tomorrow?
So there's been several internal conversations about this that will remain internal. And then in terms of, talking about lineup and playing times and things like that, I think, as you've probably gathered watching from my interim time here, I don't typically talk at all about who will be playing and who won't be playing. And Corbin is available for this tournament.
Henry Bushnell, go ahead.
Thanks, Aaron and TWILA. I appreciate your time. Just one other follow-up on Corbin. I know she posted the apology, and I know you said that things are being handled internally, but does she plan to do anything publicly to address the harm that some of her social media activity has done, and just address the questions that fans have, or has she done anything internally that you can share?
I won't speak on behalf of Corbin. Those are things that will be her decisions in the future. In terms of internal conversations, there's been quite a few internal conversations. As I've stated, those things will stay internal.
Thanks, Henry. Go back to Lakin.
This is more of a kind of an offbeat question, just given that today is the women's Final Four, and this team has obviously always been about lifting up other women and other women's athletes, and just what do you make of the way that Caitlin Clark and her peers have totally just galvanized the country and made people fall in love with women's basketball and just women's sports?
Yeah, I think I haven't personally had a chance to watch as much as I would like to, which has been disappointing. It's just so exciting to see the level, of competition that's out there, the variety of types of exciting and entertaining players there are, the amount of media attention that is on women's basketball at the moment. I hope to continue to see that and continue to see that across women's sports. And it is funny when you hear, I might be working on film or something like that, and hear like a roar from another room and understand that they're watching other women play sports.